Hello, hello, my lovelies. Oh, it feels so incredibly good to say those words again. Welcome back to another episode of Cappuccinos and Confidence. I want you to take a moment with me right now. Pull up a chair. Or if you're out on your morning walk, maybe just slow your pace for a second. I've got my big brew right here, a very frothy, extra hot cappuccino in my favourite heavy ceramic mug. It's got that comforting weight to it. It's like an anchor to my hands. Do you have yours? A herbal tea, a flat white? Whatever it is, take a sip. Let that warmth ground you. We have a lot to talk about today. Introduction: my surgery and the safety trap. This is my very first episode back since my operation, and I have to be honest with you, there are moments over the last few weeks where I wasn't sure when I'd be sitting in this chair again. So, before we go any further, I just want to say thank you, properly, to everyone who sent kind words, to the clients who were so patient, and especially to those of you who reached out to me personally. Your support was a light in a very dark room. For those who don't know, I recently underwent surgery to remove a fibroid. It sounds standard, doesn't it? But this was one big fibroid, 14 centimeters. Think large grapefruit, small melon territory. It had been taking up so much space in my body, and the surgery was necessary, but it became much more intense than we ever anticipated. During the procedure, I lost 2.2 litres of blood. My body went into hypertension. My blood pressure dropped dangerously low, and I ended up in the high dependency unit, or HDU. I needed a transfusion. Well, or three. I needed 3 blood transfusions and just spent over a week in hospital. And I'm telling you now, when you're lying there with monitors beeping and the room feeling both loud and surreal, your perspective on safety and life changes. It just does. I'm so profoundly grateful to the nurses and doctors who looked after me. They were the hands that held me steady when I felt like I was slipping away. Being back home now, being back at work, it genuinely feels like a second chance. Oh, I also got to say a big thank you to my mum and my partner who really looked after me. And that's exactly... So today, I want to talk about the safety trap. The places we call safe that quietly stop us from living. Not because we're lazy, not because we don't want it badly enough, but because our nervous system is trying to protect us, and sometimes it overprotects. So, grab your big brew. Let's talk about the cages that look like comfort and the tiny, honest steps that bring you back to yourself. Part 1. The journey back. In the hospital, safe meant being tethered to a bed. It meant being monitored 24/7. It was necessary for my survival, but it wasn't living. It was a controlled environment where I couldn't move, I couldn't create, and couldn't properly engage with the world. And as I started to recover, I saw the parallel in the coaching work that I do with you here at Nefe Coaching. So many ambitious women are living in a psychological high dependency unit. Not because you're weak, not because you don't want your goals badly enough, but because you've built a version of safe that keeps you stable while quietly draining the colour out of your life. You know what I mean? Staying in a role that shrinks you because it's steady, keeping your ideas to yourself because it's not worth the hassle, choosing the safe brand message because it won't upset anyone, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect confidence. And I get it, I do, because safety feels like relief. But here's the tender truth, my loves. A life that never stretches will eventually start to feel like it's suffocating. The safety trap isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like being low maintenance, being realistic, being grateful, or being fine. But inside, you're bracing, you're buffering, you're waiting. And this is the anchor I want to place gently on the table today. Real safety isn't the absence of risk. It's the presence of self-trust. Take a breath. Ask yourself, where in my life am I choosing safe over alive right now? Part 2. Imposter syndrome. Fear in a blazer. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, imposter syndrome. We usually talk about it like it's a character flaw, don't we? Like if we were just more confident, more qualified, more together, you wouldn't feel like a fraud. But I want to offer a different frame, a kinder one. Imposter syndrome is often fear in a blazer. It turns up with a clipboard and a sensible tone and says, let's not get ahead of ourselves, or maybe we wait until we're more established, or one more course first, yeah? Or let's not post that. Maybe people might have opinions. It's not trying to ruin your life. It's trying to prevent emotional danger, embarrassment, rejection, judgment, the dreaded, who does she think she is? Your brain is a survival machine. It's obsessed with one question. Will this get me hurt? And sometimes it makes emotional discomfort, or it mistakes emotional discomfort for actual danger. So when you step into visibility, when you pitch the bigger client or raise your prices, apply for the role, post your actual opinion, or finally put your face to your brand, your nervous system can panic. It sees visibility and labels it danger. My loves, that voice isn't proof you're incapable. It's often proof you're stretching. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Imposter syndrome is your nervous system asking for reassurance, not your destiny. And you can reassure it without obeying it. Try this script next time the fraud voice pipes up. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I hear you, and I can handle being seen. Short, kind, firm, like you're speaking to a well-meaning but dramatic auntie. Part 3. Analysis paralysis. The myth of certainty. Now let's talk about the second wall in the safety trap, analysis paralysis. Lovelies, how many of you have drafted one email 17 times, watched 10 videos on the best strategy and done none of them, asked 5 people what you should do, then felt more confused, waited for clarity to appear like a glittery angel on a cloud? We do this because we believe in the myth of the right decision. We tell ourselves, if I research enough, I can find the right path without risk. But there isn't a path with zero risk. There's just the path you choose and the trust you build as you walk it. Perfectionism often shows up here too. It whispers, if you do it flawlessly, no one can criticize you, which is cute and also false. Because perfectionism isn't a shield, it's a hiding place. If you never launch, you can't be judged. If you never choose, you can't be wrong. If you keep tweaking, you can stay safe in preparation mode. But after losing 2.2 litres of blood, I realised something I want you to really take in. The wrong decision is rarely fatal, but the decision you never make, that one kills dreams slowly. Indecision is a decision to stay exactly where you are. So instead of chasing external certainty. We practice internal alignment. You don't need more information. You need more self-trust. If you want to understand how we can build that in our grounded, measurable way, you can read more at my About Me section on my nephew.com. Part 4, the escape route. So 5 steps to build self-trust. All right, this is a slightly longer practical core of today's episode because I never want to just hand you reflections and send you back into your week like, good luck, babe. These 5 steps merge the mindset and the doing. They're designed to get you out of the safety trap without swinging wildly from I'm scared to I'm reinventing my entire personality by Monday. As always, tiny, honest steps. Step 1. Name the safety trap without shaming yourself. You can't escape what you won't admit you're in. So action. 5 minutes. Write this sentence and finish it honestly. My safety trap shows up as blank. Examples. I don't post until it's perfect. I say yes, then resent it. I keep my opinions soft so no one can disagree. I over-prepare, then never ship. Now finish this. It protects me from blank, but it costs me blank. That's not drama, that's data. Step 2. Do an evidence audit, aka build your win folder. Your brain has negativity bias. It remembers every awkward moment from 2014, but forgets the fact you've handled hard things on repeat. Action. Create a folder on your phone or computer or a physical notebook called Win Folder. Add kind client messages, screenshots of good feedback, milestones, big or small. Anything that proves I can do hard things and survive them. When the imposter voice starts screaming, don't debate it. Open the folder and read it. Facts over feelings, my loves. Step 3. Fear set the decisions you're avoiding so your brain stops catastrophizing. So positive thinking is lovely, but sometimes your nervous system needs specifics. So action should take 10 minutes. For the decisions you're avoiding, write. 1. The worst case scenario. What's the worst realistic outcome? 2. A repair plan. If that happened, what would I do? 3. Support plan. Who or what would help me recover? This is a practice often used in high-level personal development, and it's powerful because it turns fear from a fog into a list. Most disasters are a 3 out of 10. Your ability to recover is usually a 10 out of 10. Step 4. Build a visibility ladder. Practice brave in a structured way. So confidence isn't a personality trait, it's a byproduct of evidence. So your action. Pick one area where you keep choosing safe. This could be visibility, boundaries, pricing, applying for roles, speaking up. Now, write a ladder with 5 rungs, 1 being the easiest and 5 being the biggest stretch. So, for example, if you chose visibility as your area, then rung 1 would be share 1 lesson you learned this week. That's either a story or a short post. Rung 2 would be share a behind the scenes process. Rung 3, share a clear opinion, kindly but clearly. Rung 4 would be invite people to work with you with a direct call to action. And rung 5 would be go live or host a workshop or pitch a collaboration. So for you, choose 1 rung to do in the next 48 hours. Then write a 3-line debrief. What did I do? What did I learn? What did my nervous system survive? The last line matters, lovelies. Your body is collecting new proof. Step 5. Anchor yourself in the whole life. So one outcome doesn't decide your worth. When you're in a safety trap, one area of life becomes the make or break zone. Usually it's work or finances. That makes everything feel terrifyingly high stakes. So action. Use the wheel of life to check in on your foundations: health, relationships, fun, finances, mindset, rest. If your career feels wobbly today, but your health is improving and your relationships are strong, you have safety that doesn't depend on one email, one launch, or one post. You can download our alignment tools at our resources page, nefeaguntoye.com. Now, if you want to turn these steps into a mini coaching session, here's your simple structure. Your 30-minute escape the safety trap reset. You can do this today. Now, if you want to turn these steps into a mini coaching session, here's your simple structure. Your 13-minute escape the safety trap reset. Do this today. 10 minutes, name your trap and what it costs. 10 minutes for, let me start that again. Fear set, one decision, and writing a repair plan. And then 10 minutes, pick one ladder rung and schedule it on your calendar. That's it. Clean, doable, measurable. If you want to go deeper, that's exactly the kind of work we do inside Identity and Confidence Coaching, stripping away the doubt, rebuilding self-belief from the inside out, and turning self-trust into decisions you can actually stand behind. If you're ready, explore coaching or come say hi via the contact page on our website. We'll make it practical, personable, and measurable. Part 5. Transformation story. Choosing alive over safe. Let me bring this to life with a punchy story, because sometimes you don't need more theory. You need to see what escape looks like in real time. This is a client story with identifying details changed. Let's call her Sarah, not her real name. Sarah came to me looking successful on paper, booked out, dependable, doing well, but she was living like she was holding her breath. On our first call, she said quietly, almost like a confession, "I'm not unhappy, I'm just not here. I'm always bracing." That's the safety trap, not chaos, just constant bracing. A few weeks into coaching, Sarah got an email from a long-term client. They wanted a bigger scope, a faster turnaround, and of course, the same fee, because why not? Be audacious. Old Sarah would have said yes, then spent the next 2 weeks resentful, exhausted, and secretly furious at herself. She would have called it professionalism. New Sarah did something tiny and brave. She didn't reply immediately. She put her hand on her chest, took one slow breath, and said out loud, "I'm allowed to pause." She gave herself 24 hours. The next day, she sent a short email. No essay, no over-explaining, no apology tour. Something like, quote, "Thanks for the brief. With the updated scope, the fee is blank pounds and the timeline is blank. If that works, I'm happy to proceed." End quote. She hit send and then sat there shaking, like her nervous system expected the ceiling to fall in. It didn't. The client replied, quote, "That's fair, let's do it." End quote. Sarah messaged me straight after and said, quote, "I feel like I've just entered a new timeline." End quote. And honestly, she had. Over the next couple of months, the changes weren't flashy in the Instagram sense, they were more powerful in the real life sense. Sarah stopped negotiating herself down before anyone asked, made decisions in days instead of weeks, posted online with her real voice and got more aligned inquiries, held boundaries without the stomach jump of guilt, and started resting like she was a human being, not a machine. But the biggest win was internal. She said, and I quote, "I used to think confidence meant not being scared. Now I know it means not abandoning myself when I am scared." End quote. My loves, that's the whole point. Living fully isn't the absence of fear. It's the absence of self-abandonment. So if you're sitting there thinking, that's me, I'm bracing, let this be your gentle nudge. Name the trap, pick one ladder rung, take one tiny, honest step. Final thoughts. Lying in that hospital bed, I had no choice but to be patient. My body had to knit itself back together, one cell at a time. I had to accept the blood of others to survive. And escaping the safety trap. It's a similar kind of recovery, my loves. You don't bully yourself out of it. You don't boss babe your way into self-trust. You take tiny, honest steps, practice staying with yourself, and accept support when you need it. That could be through coaching with people like me, or just being with your people, your friends and family. The mental courage required to step out of self-doubt is exactly like the physical courage I needed to take my first steps after surgery. It's shaky, it's tender, it can feel unsafe, but it's the only way back to actually living. So here's what I want you to do before you rush off. Choose one tiny step, not 10, just one. What is one tiny, honest step you can take today to show yourself that you are ready to live fully? Write it down and commit to it. My lovelies, life is so precious. I know it sounds like a cliche, but when you've seen the inside of an HDU, it becomes a burning, urgent truth. We don't have time to keep shrinking ourselves for comfort. If you're feeling stuck, if you're tired of second-guessing yourself, I invite you to reach out. Visit the nefeaguntoye.com coaching shop for resources or book a discovery call through our contact page. Let's get you out of that cage, gently, properly, and in a way that you can actually sustain. Thanks for being part of my journey. Thank you for waiting for me. I'm so happy to be back. Pace yourself this week. Listen to your body. And most importantly, listen to that quiet, steady voice inside you that knows exactly who you are and what you're capable of. I'll see you next week for another cappuccino moment of reflection. With love and alignment, Nefe. Bye.